Alright, today we got a nice pile of comics. But he decided to jump on me as soon as I got ready to do it. So, we're going to try and do them with Lemmy. See if we can get through them. I'm sure he'll leave us about halfway. We're starting out with Alice Cooper, number 3. We're getting a little bit deeper with Alice's battle with the devil. We get a kind of a new version of Adam and Eve in the beginning of this storyline. It explains some things that happened prior to the original storyline and gets us into that and what's going on. And we get our demon player down there. Get the history of our character that Alice is after, who he's dealing with, who he's going to have to battle, his ability to wipe out demons with his axe, with his guitar. I like the story. I like where it's going. It's gotten better. Started out a little rough compared to the first volume, but the second volume's definitely picking up as it goes along. So I'm liking it. Sorry, I moved too much for you. There you go. Is that better? Watching all the birds out there. Threw some seed down on the cement just to give them something to eat while we had a snowstorm. Couldn't get to their feeder area, so they've been flying right past the window. And he thinks he can jump at them every time they go by. Yeah, Creepshow Volume 2, Issue 4. I remember, okay, yeah, the first story is a big box grocery store story where we have cart wrangle. Killer Cart Corral is the name of it. We have a kid that's a little shithead. We have a mom that kind of follows in his footsteps. She thinks her kid's a little sweet child, but he's obviously a little demon. He gets in trouble, causes some problems, smashes carts into cars, things like that. And there's a lady whose son, well, she works for the big box store, and her son was run over and killed by someone that swerved to go around a cart that was laying in the wrong spot in the parking lot. When the car went around the cart, hit the kid apparently and killed the kid or something like that. I find out her history, her kid's history, and all that with this thing and the cart corral, why it's cursed. And you gotta read the story to find out all the goodies and what happens and who gets in trouble for stuff. Then we got the amulet, which is a story that kind of makes you think about when you're going to put a loved one in a home and what type of environment it's going to be, how they're going to react, what they're going to do, what they're going to feel like. And this lady just so happens to have some special jewelry that she has on her that her daughter wants to. Oh, there goes the bird right past the window. He's got to go check it out. Her daughter wants to make sure that the jewelry, since she decided to wear some expensive stuff, gets put in a safe so she can get it at a later date. And we find out that there's some corruptness in this home, and all kinds of evil things happen. And you're like all of them, you're gonna have to read the story to find out the true, absolute things that happen throughout it. I gotta finish. I gotta go. My razor died on me when I was doing a shaving, so I gotta have the wife clean me up again. All right, we got Dracula issue 3 from James Tynion the Fourth. This is the Universal Monsters Dracula. I was kind of bummed with the first one, thinking it was basically just going to go right off the whole storyline. But no, there's some fun twists and turns. This one, we get a little deeper into our Renfield story and the doctors that are in the clinic where Renfield is, and we find a little more history about Dracula in here, and Mina, all our Bram Stoker style characters from that storyline are all. This still runs off that storyline, but it gives us some back stories, some side stories, some things about some characters that we didn't know about. I really like this issue. This is my favorite one so far. So they're definitely doing good with the storyline, with the writing, the artwork, the painted style artwork that I usually am not too fond of. Definitely is done well in here. It gives you the feel of the characters, gives you the darkness that they're dealing with and what they all got going on in their lives. Sorry for Lemmy staring at me. Obviously done with the bird. He's back. He's back for the attack. Back for more. Back to cause more trouble. Why don't you get comfy so I can do this? You sit right there. You can sit right on the end of the arm, and it works out perfect. All right, from Steve Urena, we did an unpacking last week or so for Foul Mouth. We finally got this comic in the mail. Awesome job. Uh, I will give my little pickiness. I expected a little more action in here with her words. I wanted to see some more things that she could do, but it's here's a little example of an ass hat when she says ass hat. But yeah, it's just I I'd like to see more action with her verbality, her verbaciousness, like basically saying that come up along someone and it's like you're a bastard child being beaten to death by a silverback or beaten down by a silverback gorilla or something like that, and then see this silverback gorilla appear and just start doing the Hulk thing like Hulk did with Thor and grab the guy by the legs and just start beating him to the ground. But yeah, it's we got a few examples of her powers, but she's new to her powers, so yeah, of course we're gonna have to wait for issue 2 to get a little deeper and see where it goes. But I really like that comic. I'm glad I picked up that Kickstarter. I'll keep following that one. Another great one to go along with his Slowpoke comics and his other stuff he's done so far. And we got Geiger Ground Zero, number 2. This is like getting us, getting all the Ghost Machine, the whole entity of characters from all those worlds thrown together in here. We got Geiger, we got Joe, we got. This looks like Joe's going to be joining into the Geiger world next issue. We get a little teaser in this one. I I I love Junkyard Joe, so that I have no problem with. We get a scientist that kind of helps our Geiger character along, and we get to learn more about his abilities and stuff, and what this guy had to do with the whole nuclear war and weaponry and what happens with it. You also get a little more history notes and stuff that are in here and gives you more things about the creator universe. But yeah, it's like you get the storyline and then there's a Junkyard Joe epilogue in the back. The weird thing about this one was I got the story And it starts out, and we get about 6 pages into it, and it starts over again. They doubled up. So I got 2 stories in one book of the same story. But so you got half the story, then it starts the story over. You get the whole story and the extras, then it comes back and gets the second half of the first story back in the book. So it's like at first I'm like, okay, is he having a double flashback? And we're just crossing it over like that in a weird way. And I wasn't sure what they were kind of trying to do, but I'm guessing it's a misprint. They screwed up and printed double the pages. I hope it didn't leave out a story because of it. I'm gonna have to write them and find out because I definitely want to know if this was a purposeful mishap or if it was an accidental mishap. And I want to know if I lost out on a story because of it. Because I could have swore this is going to contain another, at least one more character from the world, storyline wise, and we're going to get a little deeper into it. But we will see what happens along the way. I'll find out when I message them. So I'll let you know if I hear anything. All right, we got Harley Quinn, Black and White and Redder, number 6. Sorry about any background noise. I don't know what's going on. But I love this. This is a Jenny Friesen cover, I believe. It looks like her artwork to me. And as always, these are wonderful three complete stories, but yet one does talk about a future where a, the third story is definitely going to hopefully pop up more in the future. We get Harley running from a dodo bird that's strapped full of bombs and Nightwing strapped to its chest, chasing her down through the city. That's how the first story starts, called Harley's All the Way Down. And we get a variety of different Harley characters throughout this, dealing with the thing, giving mentions to like Paul Dini and Bruce Timm and creators. Basically, the different changes of clothes throughout the creators and how she looked, but it's with this whole storyline of this character trying to blow up the city. Uh, Not town hall. Town hall stuck in my head, like state capitol or whatever. I can't remember where the bird was actually going. Is one of the governmental buildings, but yeah, he's working on it while the Bat Crew's working on it too, and they see Harley getting chased by it, and they try and find out what's going on. We had Dr. Quinzel's couples counseling. This was really fun. This was probably my favorite story of the 3 this time, just because of how Harley's seen these 2 people arguing on the streets, and she's like, well, I'm going to make them fall in love again. So she uses her psychiatrist abilities, and she kidnaps them, puts them through a bunch of torture segments to see if she can bring them their true love back out and they can fall back in love with each other. Just fun how she does her typical little Harley twist and turns and things she does to them. But yeah, it plays out very well in the end and everything. And it's very interesting. Right, the third one is called Sirens Rising, and this was a great look. And this is the one that has the thing that we might get more in the future. We're gonna get hopefully siren stories that consist of Harley, Poison Ivy, and Catwoman together, ganging up and doing their criminal mischiefs. But I love those 3 characters together. They're fun. Uh, and it's like, I know it won't be in the black, white, and red framework, but I kind of wish it would. But yet, then you're losing out a little bit because with Poison Ivy, you got to have the green. So it's like they could probably go No, no, you'd almost have to go 4 colors. Black, white, and green would work out. I don't know, then you lose Harley's red, and yeah, Catwoman's black. Ivy's green, so black, green, and red. Maybe do look like that. I don't know. Yeah, it probably wouldn't work out either, but it's a thought. All right, we got Local Man, the newest one. This is number 8. I still think I'm missing some issues of this. I gotta go back through my CLZ catalog and check, but I just feel like I went from issues 1 to 3 and then jumped to 8 all of a sudden, or 7, and it just feel like it's jumping around a lot. But we got a nice Local Man story in here. We're getting a little more history of him and seeing him still trying to work things out with his father, and his father letting him know a little bit more about why he's disappointed in him. And we see some, or get some more information about the evil that's being caused in the city, what's going on, why his life took the turn that it did. Uh, we got like a water demon that they're dealing with in this issue, and then I love this cover because it's a play off the Max, which I'm looking forward to reading some more that I have of those. But I'd like to see the Max do a little comeback, which I'm surprised we haven't seen nothing yet, since a lot of other things from that era have been popping back. Uh, but yeah, then the other Local Man story gives us a history of a girl that's part of the Crossjack life world or whatever, and we just see what's happening with her and what her connection is with anything. But the big thing about this that I loved was when the other story ended, it keep going through the advertisements. They keep having him with the Local Man with word balloons going on and on with the storyline. I like the way they did that. It's just all these little twists and turns that Tim Seeley and Tony Fleeks can put into these things. They do a wonderful job with them. Next up, we got Marvel Zombies, Black, White, and Blood. Speaking of Harley Quinn, Black, White, and Redder, this is number 3. First stories of Peach Momoko. 1, Juju and the Gift of the Insect Bead. I always enjoy Peach Momoko's visual looks at the different characters and stuff. But a lot of times they don't really feel like the characters that they're representing at times, and it's because it's such a different style. But this one does a good job playing with the Marvel zombie concept and how these demons take to the world, and this little girl with this red gem that's just like a seed, like a special item that's gonna affect the zombie world in a certain way, but I'm not going to give any of that away. Our next one, we got Somewhere in the Pacific Northwest. We have it is Black Widow and some other Avengers, Hawkeye and stuff, and they found some humans that aren't zombified, aren't affected by the virus yet, and they go there to help them out, see what's going on, and they have an issue, and they send the characters in to take care of them, and then we find some other Avengers eventually. Not going to ruin the outcome of that story. And our last story is a Luke Cage style story, and being he's in a bodyguard environment style story in this one, and it kind of crosses into the Marvel Zombie world, and we find out that the girl he's protecting, her father's like the head of things that are going to be happening in this, and they have to go to a convention, or not a convention, a meeting or whatever you want to call it. I can't give it the right words right now. My brain's not allowing me to. But yeah, it was an interesting story. I'm not a big Luke Cage fan. Didn't really see much Luke Cage style action as I expected or wanted out of that one, but yeah, they're all interesting stories, all complete stories, all fun to check out. All right, yeah, we can get through these, I think, considering splitting some of these. Let's see. Do I wanna? Yeah, I think I'll that one off to the side and do a little quick review for that one separately. But we got Silver Surfer Rebirth Legacy. This is issue 4, the penultimate issue. I think there were other penultimates in here. But we get to see what's up with Mephisto, his plan to deal with Silver Surfer, what's going on. We got Silver Surfer and our golden, what is her name? I can't remember, but our Golden Herald and Silver Surfer come across a Galactus, and Galactus is about to devour a Earth-style world. I think he thinks it's an Earth, but I think we're in a different realm here. And we watch the Devourer do his thing, and we have Silver Surfer trying to stop all that, while at the same time we got Janice Bell and Thanos dealing with their little kind of, not really a feud, but disagreement. Kind of, it's kind of like Thanos is kind of in a happy place, kind of just wanting to kick back, run his ranch, live life, and Janice Bell is on a mission. And so they're all kind of being pulled different ways, but yeah, it's all going to lead up to, I'm guessing, some big battle with Mephisto and Silver Surfer here pretty soon, because Mephisto is the standard trickster, just setting a lot of things up, and I have a feeling he's the cause of a lot of problems that are going on. So we'll see what happens with that. It's Simpsons Comics, number 199. This is just a bunch of little stories. First stories, the bids are all right. Or Marge wants to paint the house. Some new colors, basically the same colors, just a little lighter shade or darker shade of those colors. Upgrade, but Homie and the kids are too busy watching TV all day, watching shows on the old storage shed shows where they go through and find goodies and get rich or lose their butts. And Homie's like, well, let's go through my locker and see what I got, if I got any junk that's old. And of course, he's just throwing things aside: the Amazing Fantasy Spider-Man cover, the Golden Idol, just keeps tossing things aside that are valuable, but doesn't think they are. Instead of buying a storage unit and seeing what you find, he's going through his own storage unit and see what he can find. But his dad's got a clock from World War II. They sit there and take the clock and try and find out its value, and everywhere they go, they keep hearing things like priceless and all that, and homie always takes it the wrong way, of course. It's just, yeah, it's a fun story about what you find that you don't know whether it's got value or not, and see what you come across when you're digging through your closets and stuff. And the final one is, I was thinking that one was the short story one, but that was basically one story all the way through. This one's the one with all the short stories. Known better, it's the winter one, but Simpsons #7, Winter Wingding. And that last one was issue number 199. I know they have no continuum standard issue run. They like to jump all over the place with the numbers, but first stories about a bunch of girls wanting to kiss Bart Simpson in school. There's a yearly kissing thing that happens, the mistletoe run, and all the girls try and kiss whoever's name gets pulled, and the principal sets up a deal where all the names are Bart Simpson in the hat, and Bart's worried that he's going to get picked. Of course, he gets picked, and he gets chased all over town by a bunch of girls from school, and he has to deal with that. We got Grandpa's Christmas Origins, which is a fun little story on Christmas lights, how Christmas lights originated, and it has to do with our aliens from The Simpsons. We have a gift exchange story in here where Homer doesn't want to go to a party but gets talked into it because it's at Ned's house and they're gonna have free munchies and all that. So Homer goes and makes an ass of himself, eats everything and drinks everything and causes a bunch of problem. And Ned kind of turns the story into a life lesson in the end for Homer. We got Grandpa's Christmas Origins Christmas Eggnog, which is a history of how eggnog became what it is today, which was interesting. And then we got Tisn't the Season, where the town of Springfield puts up their yearly Christmas tree, lights it up, and winter never comes. It comes to all the towns around them, but never comes to Springfield. So Lisa's going around accusing everybody, trying to find out who caused what, and she ends up finding the culprit, finding what happened, and it's just, yeah, well done. We got Grandpa's Christmas Origins Christmas tree, which gives us a history of how the Christmas tree came to be, which was interesting considering that it crossed along with some fireworks and stuff. And we got a whole lot of trouble where the kids are having a snowball fight, and Nelson and Bart and Millhouse all end up in this hole in the ground after Bart sees his dad's plow that's been missing, Mr. Plow, and they fall in this hole and find out that the bullies set this up. They end up doing some twists and turns their own way and try their hardest to get out of there. And they have their own shenanigans that happen. Then we get Chest Guts roasting, Itchy and Scratchy. You always got to have a little story from them. It's just a fun, quick story about Itchy terrorizing Scratchy. Scratchy loses out on that one. But yeah, that was a fun pile. And we got a couple that'll be on Instagram, single comic short reviews also, so keep an eye out for those. But yeah, that was a good little run. And we got lots more fun comics coming up. So I will get my butt to reading them, and I will review them. So we'll be back soon. So keep following Under the Call of MS. Rate, review, tell a friend, subscribe. Check out Crystal Call Comic Club. And we will get back to you as soon as we can.